Welcome to this new episode on the Hub by the Built Environment magazine. I'm Faina Ashwith, the editor. On the Hub by Built Environment Middle East, we bring you unique voices, expert comments, and analysis highlighting topical themes and the latest innovations in the region's built industry. Today, we are delighted to welcome James Massey once again on the show. James is the Managing Director, FM Energy and Retail Intelligence at MRI Software. Let's hear from him on what MRI stands for, its journey so far over 5 amazing decades, and how it is enabling businesses in the region. James, it's great to have you back on the show with us.
Good to be back. Thank you.
So let's begin by telling our audience the secret that lies behind MRI's long-standing success, your role within the organization. We know that you have an outstanding career in the tech industry, and how MRI has been enabling businesses to gain that competitive edge.
Yeah, great questions. First off, thanks again for having me on the show, Fina. If you go back to MRI's history, 50 plus years, we've always been a technology provider from the vast majority of that particular time.
Yeah.
But always very much focused in terms of real estate and property technology. I think where we've had this, you called it the secret sauce or the secret success, is because we're very focused in terms of what we do. We very much are clear in terms of real estate software and all the things that follow that, the smart built environment, as we would call it.
Yes.
If we look at our acquisitions over the last, 15, 20 years, they've all tied into the same sort of ecosystem. In the Middle East, this of course started on the journey with the acquisition of FSI three and a half years ago now. And so that's probably our secret, really. Also, we have a great team of people that sit behind us. Everyone that we employ, 3,500 people globally, 22 people in Dubai, and many more in the wider EMEA area, are all subject matter experts. They all come from either prop tech backgrounds and or have had training in prop tech backgrounds and so on and so forth. So a great set of people. My role is I'm the custodian or the MD of 3 of our businesses: facilities management, energy and retail intelligence. I'm very proud to have that as a role. I thoroughly enjoy my career. I thoroughly enjoy my job. I've had a great career to date. Hopefully it will go on longer. One would hope. And if we look at what I do, my role is to do things like this. It's to be the brand evangelist about what MRI are capable of doing. Earlier on today, you've been to our user forum. You've seen what we are capable of doing. And it's a great honor to be able to present the success that the team do. So that's my background. That's what I do. And I'm very proud to be here in Dubai having this conversation with you today.
Great. So you just concluded the Middle East User Forum. And based on that, James, what are the 3 key insights for the FM sector?
If we look at what we've been asked for by the customers, I think one of the key points that MRI are very good at is listening to customer feedback. It's about taking those things on board and actioning them, where possible. The 3 current major insights will be around digitization of services. We talk about post-COVID world, people working from home, people working in different hybrid modes. Now, people expect to have a digitization of services framework. You heard some of those things this morning.
Yes.
So those mobile apps, those mobile platforms for the resident, tenant, occupier, but also for those people, mobile engineers, contractors, and so on and so forth, having a digital framework. So that's one scenario. The second one, I suppose, then is IoT, Internet of Things, smart buildings, doing more with the BMS systems and tying the BMS systems into the facilities management. So again, you heard me say earlier on talking about the story was a lift failure and how a lift failure can automatically raise tasks into FM systems. So again, using some of those smarter tech and that smarter sensor ecosystem. And the third thing then really is around data isolation. We've been challenged a lot of late to be as open and connected as we can. MRI are very much an open and connected business. We want to be that supplier, that partner who people can come to have a sensible conversation about integration, because people want to be able to bring together disconnected data sets. And you heard me talk this morning about MRI Agora,
yes,
which is our reporting framework based on Power BI. That's probably the key insight really into that solution.
Yeah, and it's inspired by a Greek word, I suppose.
It
I
is
heard you
Greek word
mention.
for a meeting place of people. That's what that basically means. So MRI Agora is a Greek word for meeting place.
So you mentioned connected ecosystems. Would you like to take us through MRI's connected ecosystems and integrated FM, energy, and footfall analytics?
Yes, of course. So, I mean, it's a big subject and a very powerful subject because we've been on a journey to try to look at digitization of services. We've been talking for a while now. I've been talking a while now. We've interviewed before around how we can make things more digitized from a service offering. So, for example, the room that we're sat in now, if a light was to fail, could that automatically tell the CAFM system the fact that that light had failed? You know, could we start to use some of these more intelligent data sets then to drive out digitization of services? So the example we'll go through is what we've actually rolled out in our London office, which is where I'm based in. So we've deployed our CAFM system. MRI Evolution is the core CAFM, which again is a good system of record. We've then deployed maybe 150 IoT sensors across the building. Those range from desk presence sensors, so can we tell people are sat at their desks or not, through to air quality sensors, through to movement sensors, through to carbon dioxide sensors, and so on and so forth. All of those all tie back in now through the MRI IoT hub. The MRI IoT hub now integrates back in then with MRI Evolution. So if, for example, a CO2 alarm goes over its allowed thresholds, that will then tell our CAFM system then, MRI Evolution then, that someone needs to do something about that. So that's a great example there of one scenario of a combined ecosystem. Furthermore to that, our footfall counting, which its heritage business was based around retail,
Yes.
we've now deployed into facilities management and the built environment.
Okay.
So for example, we're now counting onto every floor of our 6-story building how many people are coming in and getting out of each floor area. So we can start to understand then what and how that floor is being used for. So how many people are going on there? You know, we know the square footage of that particular floor area, for example. We've also deployed our energy management products as well. So we now know down to floor level how much energy we're using. So if you combine together a combination of a good CAFM system, which has got a robust system of records, IoT that can tell us the quality of the building and how the building is performing. We have energy management to tell us how much energy each floor is consuming, which we know now down to sub-meter level, including
Right.
water.
Okay.
We also understand then the footfall on every floor, so you understand how busy that floor is. And then critically, then we know which desks are then occupied as well. That combined ecosystem is an immense set of technology that we brought together.
Right.
We can then start through some very, very clever data insights into that, whereby we can start to maybe power off certain floors. So if we can start to say, well, on certain days of the week, certain floors are very low occupancy, let's power those floors off there, because that not only helps with our cost, to be blunt, but also helps with things like our ESG strategy, reducing energy usage and so on and so forth. But also, if an asset starts to fail, so if, for example, the room is too hot, too cold, the CO2 level's too high, for example, tying those alerts back into the CAFM system is absolutely fantastic, and that's what we've now deployed out there. So that brings together then the combined MRI ecosystem, plus, of course, alongside that, all of our standard property management solutions, you know, be that PMX, KPM, or Horizon, whatever that needs to be, because that, of course, is our foundation.
Interesting. So now we move on to MRI's contract intelligence, the app. I heard the presentation today, of course. So would you be able to list, maybe 3 benefits for the Middle East region? And I heard you're also integrating ChatGPT into it. So that seems like an interesting feature. So could you explain?
Yeah, I think every company now talks about being AI ready, etc. But we've taken a slightly different approach. You know, we have a solution called AI MRI Agora Insights, and MRI Agora Insights framework, of course, is one of our data lakes. What we've done there is brought together lots and lots of data then to start making decisions on the back of that. Again, you saw some examples earlier on.
Yes.
Where we tie MCI into this then is around taking analog records and digitizing them, which is a very, very basic concept then of scanning in a document, OCR scanning it, and that's quite straightforward. But then abstracting data from those paper records. So in the scenario you saw earlier on today was around the lease abstraction. So taking a legal lease document, scanning that in through an OCR platform, abstracting out of that certain key elements of data, maybe service charges, maybe liabilities, etc., and then pushing those then into one of our systems. It goes through a manual process as well, and there's huge amounts of examples where we've done that. Maybe 5 million leases have been scanned through that system so far. Okay. And that AI engine learns, it continually understands and continually learns different things.
Okay.
To tie back to your original question, how that can benefit the Middle East.
Yes.
Leases need to be governed. Paper leases need to be governed. So anywhere in the world where we have this software deployed, and it is deployed now globally, we can scan in their leases. We can do all the things that I've already referred to, be that in Arabic or be that in English language, and then bringing out that data to the foreground so people can go away then and action it. So that's one key point.
Okay.
A second key point is the ability to not use it for just leases. So if we look at any certificate that may exist in the built environment, be that a fire risk assessment, be that an insurance cert, be that whatever that needs to be, we can use the same engine, the same learning algorithm then to bring up more and more data. And we can push that then into other systems. So our standard is to push it into our property management systems, but actually the ability to push it into FM systems, push it into other products is absolutely outstanding. And the third thing for in region is it is in Arabic. So if you have documents that are in Arabic only, we can abstract the data out of there, and then again we can start to use that data. It has a natural processing language as well, natural language processing engine behind it, akin to ChatGPT, where you can start to ask it questions. For example, find me all leases where there is a service charge in excess of 1,000 dirhams, just as a random example. So starting to use the learnt language that the AI engines used and bought from the document sets, we can start to let people to play around with that. So 3 great examples. Huge amount of potential in region. I think anyone who has analog records, an analog, of course, being on paper, we should have a conversation about that, because the risk, of course, is if you lost that analog record, what does that look like? And also in not knowing what's in those analog records, is there a risk in there? Is there a revenue maximization opportunity? And so on and so forth.
Would you now be able to explain to us what is a space management system and how that works?
Our space management framework came into MRI a few years ago, one we're very proud to be owning of. As the world's gone to this hybrid working environment, people, facilities managers in general, or specifically, need to be able to manage the space better. Space, of course, being defined as somewhere where someone can go to. So we deploy the software ourselves in all our offices globally, including the one here in Dubai. If we want to go in there and book a room, book a desk, we use our own product to do that. And again, I think you saw earlier on this morning where we can sort of see an occupancy level.
Yes.
I referred to the desk sensors earlier on, but the ability for someone to book a room, book a desk, has that person actually turn up to use that particular space or not? Again, it starts to become another data point that we can start to report on. So if you consider the building that we're in now, it will have hundreds and hundreds of desks. A good space management system such as ours would allow you, as a resident of this particular building, to be able to book a desk, and or book a meeting room, and or book facilities, lunch, for example. It will allow you to maybe request things like lighting, like temperature, and so on and so forth. All of those points then, of course, tie back then to a task then for the facilities team to go and do. We've been on a really interesting journey tying space management into facilities management as well, because I think the combined IWMS, so the integrated workplace management system, is the solution of the future for that type of scenario, because it's an extension of space booking to also the facilities side in there as well. So again, it's been a very, very, very interesting journey and lots more things to come from it.
So would you just be able to summarize finally what difference MRI brings to users in the region specifically?
I think there's a number of points.
Yeah.
First off, we're based here.
Yes.
We have an office based in Media City, Al Sharfa Tower, a great facility. We have 22 staff who live in Dubai and slightly surrounding Emirates. A lot of them have been in here for many, many, many years, 20 plus years. Some of the staff have been out here for. We understand the market. We understand the sector. We have lots and lots of great friendships and great contacts in the region. So I think the regionalized presence is critical. The head office for the Middle East is in Dubai. Right. Our staff, our team are subject matter experts. They're very, very good at what they do. In fact, that's all they do. They don't do our other products. So our team here, our support team, our delivery team, they do facilities management. They do what they're very, very good at. A lot of them have been in this sector. They come from suppliers. They come from, from those particular points. And so I think what's key is, whilst we've got regional presence, we've got the right presence as well. We've got the right people. And everybody that we employ here, our pride members, as we refer to them as, are SMEs in terms of facilities management and, of course, the built environment. And then the third point is, MRI want to be the known partner in the Middle East. We want to be known as the go-to partner for facilities management and the slightly wider solutions that you saw earlier on today. We want to be seen as that partner who listens. We want to be seen as that partner who wants to learn, who wants to grow into this particular region more than we've already done. We've got 120 plus customers in region now, from Dubai, United Arab Emirates, across to Saudi Arabia. We want to continue to grow. We want to continue to invest in region as well. And this is why it's important that, these sorts of conversations are really great, because again, it helps us with our profile. So people, passion, product are the three reasons why we are the one to be with.
So finally, that brings us to the question of MRI Evolution. Would you just be able to touch on that, and what lies ahead on the horizon?
What lies ahead is more greatness with the products. The feedback that we've had from the session earlier on today has just been wonderful. I think the people are demanding more and more and more, tied into the three insights beginning, more data intelligence, more integration, more digitization of services. So MRI Evolution is our core CAFM system in region. It's been around for many, many, many years, 25, 30 years. It's gone through, of course, a number of rewrites since then, a number of technology refreshes since then, fully software as a service, cloud-based, all of those things, of course, you would expect from someone like us. But where the future lies with it is, it continues to grow. It continues to have additional feature functions in there. It continues to integrate into other products. It then starts to consume wider things like IoT that's come into it, like space management, like MRI Agora Insights, the BI products. Because I think what it's got to be is a robust system of records. The key thing with any built environment is compliancy. It has to be around compliancy. So we're very, very careful to make sure that we understand, first off, the responsibility of having a system that controls compliancy. But then giving people additional feature functions on top of that is where we go to. So its future's bright. There's lots more opportunity. Loads of ideas have come out of the room that we had in there this morning. Lots of people talking about what we've already done. 6 months ago, we had a user group. We took away a list. We wrote pretty much everything that the user community asked for, and we presented that to them today, which again is wonderful. We'll keep doing that. We'll keep listening. We'll keep developing, and we'll keep supporting the Middle East region.
Thank you, James, once again for joining us.
Thank you, Vina.
And it's been great to have you again with us. I'm sure our listeners will, find the information that you've provided really useful. For all those watching, we will be back again with another great discussion on The Hub by the Built Environment magazine.